It's Flip City Magazine, The Parodies, Special Edition, with savage send-ups of The Walking Dead, Star Trek Picard, Stranger Things, The Mandalorian, Guardians of the Galaxy, and more from the first 4 years of Flip City. Get Flip City The Parodies free when you subscribe in print at flipcitymag.com.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the ID Show. It's your boy Ivory 602.
Jimmy Parker.
And our special guest, Deece Casillas.
What's up, guys?
Obviously, we got the draft going on in the background, but that's really not what we're here to talk about today. We've got my man here who's a man of multi-talents. Deece, if you want to tell him who you are and what you do, we would love to get into that.
Yeah, my name is Deece Casillas. I am a internationally touring stand-up comedian, writer, host of the weekly talk show, The Social Hour. New comic book out there, Kill Stan, that just dropped, or number 2 is just about to drop this week, and a million other things, it feels like, man.
That's right. Also, internationally, where have you gone outside of the country?
I've performed in Canada, Mexico, Belize, Costa Rica, and the Bahamas.
That's
Tropical
amazing.
places, baby. Make it so, if they're gonna pay you, might as well go find and make it a good vacation. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to go to Croatia or some fucking Iceland and do comedy.
Man.
Let's go.
Yeah, Croatia would be bad for me. I have this thing for like sexy Eastern European women. I would end up on a new version of Hostel.
Oh yeah, you'd wake up in a fucking tub full of ice, missing a kidney.
Exactly. Wondering if it was worth it. It might have been worth it. You never know.
No, yeah, time will tell. Time will tell.
Yeah, when I did music, I didn't do international. I mean, I did Canada, but I don't ever consider that international. I did Mexico. I did like Rocky Point a couple times, but I got to tour the country. Road life is definitely for young people. I couldn't imagine trying to do it now.
Man, I'll tell you what, I don't know. I had to upgrade. A couple years ago, I only stay at hotels where the doors are on the inside of the building now. Like I don't fuck around with those ones where the doors are on the outside. If I could see the doors when I pull up, or if my hotel is like within a 3-mile radius of a Waffle House, I'm fucking out. I need a better hotel.
A Waffle House, man.
It's a bad hotel. I stayed at a hotel one time. It was in the same parking lot as a Waffle House. I'm like, I'm dying tonight. This shit is fucked up.
See, if you would have been really hot though, you would have thought that was the plug.
Yeah. It's it's just, I'm gonna end up on World Star or some shit.
World Star. Hey, all publicity is good publicity.
Yes, yeah.
So what's the biggest show venue you've done?
I've done a bunch of theaters that are like, I think the biggest one's probably like close to 2,000 seats.
Okay.
Not my show, like opening for people and stuff like that, or collab
Right.
shows. I haven't sold 2,000 tickets yet by myself.
Not yet.
But
So,
yeah.
What kind of format do you have? Like when you perform, are you a crowd work guy, or do you write your punchlines and set yourself up?
Oh yeah, I've got all my stuff. I mean, I've got my hour worked out, so I'm usually pretty. There's some wiggle room in there. You want to be flexible, depending on what the audience feeling, and you can play with it a little and kind of cater it to each audience a little bit. But you kind of know where the plane is going once you take off.
Absolutely.
The crowd work stuff is like, it's good for clips and looks good on TikTok, but man, it's shit in person.
Right.
It's like, 'cause it's like this. It's like, hey, you're on a date with that lady? Fucking idiot. Oh, fucking okay. How long you guys been together? 4 years? Oh, that must suck, you piece of shit. And like, eventually you're like, all right, everyone else in the audience, like, we get it. I don't know. Can you tell us something? A joke here?
You just gotta be slick like Matt Rife and flirt with the old ladies.
That's right. Hey. He's doing it right. I just need to get a chin implant too. And then I'll be ready.
Hey, bow down to the Illuminati like he did. It's all catered in from there.
Whoa. Hey, bro, who are some of your favorite comedians?
All-time favorite is Norm Macdonald. Norm Macdonald that guy's the GOAT in my opinion. He was the best. Other than that, Dave Chappelle. I love Dave Chappelle. Patrice was great. Bill Burr is great.
Bill Burr is good though.
I'm a big Whitney Cummings fan. I think Whitney's
love her.
And I've opened for her a couple times. She's brilliant. She's amazing.
That's dope.
Yeah, actually, my last big comedy show I went to was Whitney Cummings. It was on a
Really?
date. It was
She's
fucking
so
fabulous.
And another comedian, actually, younger female comic, Taylor Tomlinson. She is one of the funniest fucking people I've ever seen live. Her laughs per minute is off the charts. Like, she packs.
There's a metric of laughs per minute.
What's that?
There's a metric for laughs per minute.
Yeah. It's
This is amazing.
It's a comedy term, laughs per minute. You want to figure out, make sure you're getting enough meat on that bone, packing enough punch in there. Because if you're not getting a laugh every like 10, 15 seconds, you're probably doing something wrong.
Right, your setup is taking way too long. You lost the crowd.
That makes sense though.
But that's crazy. Like, the whole world is just gearing towards metrics, artificial intelligence. Like, this is a great segue for that. It's crazy to me that something as pure as comedy, though, has a metric like laughs per minute. I get it. It makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, could we just put all of that extra thought aside and just laugh at funny person?
It's not like you don't have like a manager afterwards coming like being like, hey, listen, we there's no stats or like trading cards where you're like, Deece's laughs per minute in 2014 was in a slump, but picked it up in 2015. It just is like it's like a personal thing, at least for comedians who are working and really like trying to improve and understand that the show they're giving to an audience. Like, you're internally, because like as a comic, you're always, it's such a weird thing because like as a comedian, you have to be in the moment to be spur of the moment. You also have to think about what you're saying, but you also have to think about what comes next, but you also have to think about how it's going for the people out there. You have to be cognizant of all these things at once, right? In the moment during the show. So it's and yeah, just if you want to grow and be a better comic and make sure you're giving the audience the best show.
And see, like for me, when I was really into hip hop getting started, it was because I grew up in a pretty urban community. Making fun of the white kids at school at lunch, freestyling was like the funny thing to do. So I, around like third grade, started rapping back at these kids and was actually pretty good at it. And all of a sudden I had friends and I was like the cool white kid. So it kind of like stuck with me and it followed me in high school. I'd go to parties, battle people,
Until now.
$5 at a time, whatever.
Until now. That's it left.
Oh, no, I'm still super dope. But anyway, same thing. So, and I'm from the generation where when we freestyled, it was like you were coming off the top of the hat. You were not, nothing against today's battles. Today's battles are dope. The writers for today's battles are incredible. But my generation, it was a lot harder. You had to sit there and just actually hit the beat and hit the person and be on point and rock the crowd. And so from a comics perspective, I imagine that's very similar. Like, you just have to gauge the crowd, get the crowd, and then snatch the fucking entertainment aspect.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, the way I structured my hour when I go into an audience is like
a full hour of comic work.
Yeah, I do an hour. When I do a set, I'm usually headlining, so I'm usually doing an hour. And it's like I usually try to do something kind of topical, kind of about the area to like let people know that I like, I was in your town today. Here's a joke about this fucking gas station I went to that everyone's aware of or whatever, And then I do what I call fishing jokes up front, where I do some little bits that are to get an idea of the temperature of the room, right? Like what they're into, how far I can push them, a couple things. If they push back a little, I can be like, all right, I need to ease into that topic, or you can kind of feel out what they're into and what ride they're gonna go on for you.
Yeah. So that's funny because my dating style is kind of grenade fishing in the same way. Like, I don't got a whole lot of time to waste. So instead of like addressing one cute girl, I just go up to a group with like a grenade opening line and kind of like, see what floats at the top and what doesn't, and then just go from there. So, and
sometimes it's a dead fish you're taking home, but that's the price you pay.
Then you go like find a rabbit or something and just eat some leaves and make it to the next day. Yeah, I don't have time to interview each one individually. I'm just gonna like, boom, who smiles?
What do we got? Who's coming?
So I heard you got some views on artificial intelligence. I would love to hear your views on AI.
Oh man. I mean, well, AI is crazy as shit. AI is a scary ass thing, in my opinion. We never should have. I mean, we're too far. I was actually just listening to this podcast earlier on my drive back from Houston today about these guys who were fuck with artificial intelligence, and it's like, so they think that by 2027, maybe 2028 at the latest, they're gonna have human level intelligence, artificial intelligence, where you will not imperceptible difference, right? Like there's already AI that can pass the Turing test, which if you're not familiar with that, there's a guy named Alan Turing who developed this test that you can put artificial intelligence through to determine whether, like, to see how human like it is. And there's already artificial intelligence that can pass that test and be imperceptible difference between, like, I'm talking to a human or I'm talking to artificial intelligence. Like that's where we're at. So when you get to that, I mean, I just look at the dangers of it, like you think what you can do as far as, framing people. You can make anything look real online now. I mean, deep fakes is like beyond, like, the uncanny valley is real, man. There's not really like a difference between what reality and non-reality. And that's a dangerous line when you start getting people, our world moving towards that. And we're becoming more immersed in these screens and technology, right? So the more we get immersed with it and the more we become one with it, the less the less of a barrier there is between the two things. So, man, I just think we're hurtling towards this chaos of basically Skynet and Terminator is what I think we're going to.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it feels like we're starting to live out those movies. And my daughter actually goes to Arizona State University. She's in forensics, but a lot of her friends that she goes to school with, they actually have law classes now for the upcoming, for the lawyers who are going to have to battle artificial intelligence and deep fakes and breaking down, video and audio and how they can misrepresent people, name, image, and likeness. Really? So there are already classes going on right now teaching them, to prosecute and also how to defend against these artificial intelligences that are coming. And I don't know if you saw that Thailand just released their first cyborg police officer.
I did see that. Yeah, I did see that.
That's scary.
Well, I mean, what's scary is that scary in the wrong hands, which anyone who is in a position of elected official is the wrong hands. But like, we're talking about something that makes, there's no human aspect, right? There's no human aspect. So there's no nuance anymore, like it's just split second decisions based purely on binary code and what it, there's no human interaction or human it's just like this bad, this good. That's the way it's programmed. There's no wiggle room, that could really run into some crazy situations, like I don't know, for instance, like there's two guys fighting and they pull, each one pulls out a gun. Well, who does the cop shoot? What is that? How does he decide?
So quick, it'll nail them both. Boom, boom.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's just there's no room for nuance.
Yeah, they're John Wicked people.
Well, it's like, there's some things that this would be good for, like calling strikes and balls in baseball, like we don't need an umpire for that anymore. That job's antiquated, right? Like that can be done digitally. But there's no emotion or feeling in that. That's just like, it is a ball or it isn't a ball, that's it. In fact, the game would arguably be better because there's no human error then. But the human feeling in things like Law and Order is what makes it like actual society work, because we're dealing with each other interpersonally as actual people, not just robots and coding.
Well, the opportunity for like tyrannical oppression, and obviously not only from the government, but anybody who with wealth, anybody with an amassed wealth system could make an army of just destructive bots.
Oh yeah. Yeah, especially, I mean, you know, you could hack anything that has a fucking microchip in it. It's all attached to a database. You just hack it. You know, next thing you know, someone's sex robot's fucking it's killing someone. And like, it's just going to be like we're going to build these sex robots as like the future. And they're just going to be this generation of assassins just fucking everyone up. What's so funny? This is actually
You must
funny.
have just watched Subservient.
Yeah. I actually wrote a comedy sketch that we filmed, like, I mean, more than 10 years ago, right? About how it was basically Terminator, but they were sex dolls. And I mean, this was 2012. I did this sketch, right? And now, 13 years later, I'm looking at that going, man, this might be more real than I thought it was going to be, you know? Like back then it was a joke. Now it's like, no, that could really happen.
See, that's how I feel about dating now. I feel like it's going to be like Demolition Man. I'm going to go over and try to meet some girl and hang out. And she's going to hand me a VR mask.
Hey, well, you know, whatever is good. Make her
no exchange of fluids, no touching.
Better looking. You know, and I don't have to stay for breakfast with VR. Why don't you put this VR helmet on and pretend we ate breakfast together, sweetie? I'm gonna go home and sleep in my own goddamn bed.
Imagine these flowers and chocolates I brought you with this sweet lingerie.
Yeah. Oh.
So you said you grew up in LA. You said was music ever something you thought about getting into before comedy?
Yeah, that's what I did before I was writing too, but I was doing music before I got into comedy. I actually, I quit music because of a lot of reasons. I grew up in South Central LA in the 80s, which was, height of gang violence, crack epidemic, fucking police brutality and shit. It was just, it was just life, right? But right. As I got older and got into music and was doing that, it was just the music was hip hop music was just intrinsically tied to gang life down there, and there was no way to do music and not be involved in gang life. And I just grew up in that. I lost too many homies. I'd been in and out of jail my whole life, done too much dumb shit, done that my whole life, and I'm like, I don't want to do that anymore. And I just had to walk away from music, because there was no way to do it and not get involved in that shit down there.
Right. Yeah. So why comedy? Like what was the shift that went from that to comedy? How did that happen?
You know what? So I always loved comedy, but it didn't make sense to me as a kid. Like I didn't understand how I would start doing comedy, right? Like I fucking was a poor kid in the fucking hood. Like I saw the Tonight Show and stuff, but I didn't understand what that meant. Like I didn't even know, like I assumed you had to be famous to get, like, I didn't know that there were open mics and you could go do this shit, right? So when I was a kid, like I always loved comedy. I used to, my parents would like get drunk on the sofa and pass out, and I would just pretend like I would fall asleep on the living room floor. And then once they would pass out, I would get up and I would like watch the Tonight Show. I'd watch Saturday Night Live. They used to have like this stand-up spotlight on VH1 on the weekends I used to watch. So I loved comedy. But like, again, I didn't know how to get into it. But when I was living in Long Beach, and there was this open mic at a bar I used to hang out at, and they started doing this open mic on like Tuesday nights, and I used to go watch just because I liked comedy. And I didn't like, the guy who hosted, his name was Steve, and like I started getting to know him. I'd be there every week and watching it, and like I thought Steve was like a comedian. I'm like, this guy's like a comedian. This guy's living the life. He's a comic. Now, after 17 years of doing this, I realized, I'm like, oh, that guy was 50 hosting a shitty open mic on a Tuesday night at a bar in Long Beach.
That's the life of a comic, though. That's the real life of a comic.
Like this guy, I'm like, that's a bad gig. So one week we talked after the show, and he's like, hey man, you're funny. He's like, you ever thought about doing this? I go, yeah, I just didn't know. I don't know. And he goes, well, next week I'm going to sign you up. Come up and do it. So I went home and I started looking at, like, because I was writing, like I had written books, and I was writing, I was working on a book, and I always wanted to write. I was always a writer, and I used to write things down that I thought was funny, like funny concepts or funny ideas or like dialogue. And I didn't know it didn't have a place. It's just like, this is funny interaction. I'll put this into a book somewhere down the line. You know, I just like this dialogue or this idea, this joke. And what I realized, I went to that to look at it for ideas for the stand-up, is I'm like, oh, I've been writing jokes for a decade. I just didn't realize these were going to be on stage. Like, I thought they were going to be in a book or like a script of something. It turns out they're like jokes, stage jokes. So I just started doing it, and I never stopped. Just got bit by the bug. And then I kept going. I mean, I started writing comedy articles for websites, doing the podcast, writing stuff for Punch Up on scripts and shit like that, doing all kinds of stuff.
So how did Inferno come about?
Man, like, I've always been a comic book nerd. You can look behind me. Look at
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah.
Yeah, this is all comic book shit.
Holy shit!
Wow.
Yeah, like, I mean, it. I've always loved the medium, and I always wanted to do comics. I just, again, never knew how, But when a couple years ago, I tried to make a comic book a couple times. It's just hard, It's like you got to find an artist or you got to pay an artist, and it was just pain in the ass. But like, finally, I wrote this script that I liked a lot, and it's something new that I wrote. I've written a bunch of stuff over the years, but I wrote this new script, and I'm like, I like this. I want to do this. And I just found an artist and paid him. I'm like, I'm going to pay you to do the, what's your page rate? Let's make this happen. And I just self-published, man. I started putting an imprint together, figured out all the ins and outs of the business, how to make it work, how to distribute it, how to sell it, and just started doing it, And
so, if you don't mind, like, brag a little bit. What's the most successful avenue of entertainment that you've had so far?
Of entertainment, or
just in general, the writing, the comic, the comedy. Like, what's been your most successful thing to do?
Well, I mean, comedy's definitely the most successful. I've been doing it for 17 years now. It's how I pay my mortgage. So I get,
okay, that's awesome.
Like, I don't have a day job, right? Like, I don't have this is what I do comedy for a living. That's how I pay my bills.
That's fucking awesome.
17 years is dope.
I've been doing it full time for about almost 10 years, but doing it in some form or fashion for like 17.
So what is full time as a comic? Like, how many nights a week are you out on performing?
It depends, right now, not. I'm probably doing like 5 to 8 shows a month, and then maybe dropping in and doing a couple small spots throughout the month too.
So you're staying pretty active.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually, like, honestly, that's kind of slow right now. Because I backed off because I'm doing the comic book, and I'm trying to put as much time as I can into making the comic book work right now. So, like, there was, like, 2 years ago, I was doing, I did 189 dates on the road.
Holy shit. That's
so dope. That was too much. I fucking went crazy. I had to back off. But, like, really, if everything was going, if I went back to the schedule I was doing, which I would just have to hit go again. Right now, I'm just backing off because I'm taking time for the comic book. But I would probably be doing shows like Thursday through Saturday, if not Thursday through Sunday, every single weekend.
Have you ever performed out here in Phoenix?
Yeah, it's been about 2 years, but I've been out there. Yeah.
Do you remember where you played out here?
Mic Drop. I think they're in Chandler, actually.
Okay, yeah, that's in Chandler. Yep.
And then I've done some small venues in around Phoenix. I don't remember what they were. They were like,
really good friend of mine's name is Mike Dapper. He books for a lot of the events around town for comedy, but he books for Rick Brunson's House of Comedy, which is a good sized venue.
Oh yeah, Mike Dapper. I know that name.
Yeah, he's fucking hilarious. I love that guy.
Yeah.
But if you're ever wanting to come out this way, let me know. I can definitely plug the two of you together. I know he's always trying to.
Yeah, definitely, man. I'd love to get out there. I know I've sent them my video before, and they've never heard anything back. So I'd love to get into that club. Okay. So
you know how that goes when you're the booker, though. You get inundated with stuff.
Oh yeah, I booked for clubs, man. It's a nightmare. Plus,
Yeah.
most people send terrible videos. I don't fucking the things people send when they want to get booked for stuff. I'm like, what the fuck did you? Why would you send this to anyone? Like, there's 3 minutes of opening with no laughs. Like, what are you doing? Like, don't say. Like, somebody sent me a video one time. It's just their feet, like on the stage. Like they couldn't get a full video of their body. I'm like, man,
It's like the guys who open up with a shrimp pick for the first pick to a girl.
yeah, yeah. Like, man. You guys
wonder why they didn't get a date.
Yeah, you're like, I don't know why I'm not working. I'm like, dude, you gotta fucking put a little more effort into this. It says a lot if you can't even get a video of yourself.
Right. Yeah. I definitely went and checked out some of your clips before we start talking. I mean, obviously I've asked you some questions to hit on some things that you do, but I was impressed, bro. I was laughing out loud. I like the video clips. Is there anywhere that people can go and look at like longer clips that are not just the little shorts?
I got a special out, Not Your Cup of Tea. You can get it on my website, deececomedy.com.
Okay.
Right now we're doing a deal where it's basically you pay whatever you want. So you go click on the Not Your Cup of Tea tab and you just put in a donation and we'll send you the full video link of my hour. It's you can pay $5, $10, you can even pay $1. It's a dick move, but you can do it and you'll still get the hour, whatever you want to pay. So that'll get you the full digital 4K download or link to the hour. And I don't post a ton of clips online right now just because I've been so busy, but I gotta get back to it. So
are you using crowdfunding for the comic?
Yeah. So what I did is I paid for the first one out of pocket.
Okay.
And then it was done. And then we ran a Kickstarter for it. So I was just trying to like recoup that money. And then I put all that money into number 2. So basically we're like ahead at this point where everything this Kickstarter is just paying for the next one. So I didn't want to be in this situation where I'm like trying to pay for a book if we don't get enough funds,
Right on. So how did you get connected with the Madness Entertainment Group and have those connections helped you with your funding?
Yeah. They're great. They got a good following, and we I don't know how I did, honestly. I think I somehow got connected with them to be a guest on the shows.
Okay.
Through
you don't have to lie just because I'm backstage.
Yeah. How did
Fuck man like that?
I don't remember how. Yeah, I think I maybe somebody connected me with him to be a guest on the show.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
I've seen you've been a guest on several of the shows.
Yeah, and then I just kind of got wrapped into the whole bad boy. So
yeah, I was like, I liked what dude was doing. I'm like, man, bring that on over here.
I'm out here hustling.
Shout out to Pops. He's over here enjoying his Friday night.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. I'm actually away from the house, which means I get to be me. Yep. Shall we?
Dr. Seuss pipe.
Oh, Jesus Christ, yeah.
The kitty pipe.
That's crazy.
See, someone, it looked like you raided the set of Alice in Wonderland with that pipe.
I was thinking the Cat in the Hat. So when are you looking to release the comic? When's the next episode supposed to come out?
So number 1 is out now. You can go to our store on inferno.earth website, and you can all number 1 and number 2 are available for order right now. We've got number 1 in hand. Number 2, the issues come in this week, so we'll have them getting sent out real quick. We're fulfilling orders fast. So number 2 is out, and then we're working on number 3. We're shooting for probably like what is it? May. It's almost May usually. 3rd issue should be out. It'll be out in like August, July or August. We're trying to do.
When did the project start? When did the first one come out?
November.
Okay, so you've been putting it. So it's in motion. So this is what you're passionate about right now.
Yeah, so we're trying to do every 3 months, get a new issue out is the goal right now. It's tough because indie stuff is tough, man. I know people who've done like 3 issues over 7 years. So most people take a long time. So 3 issue, every 3 months is a good clip for us. I'd like to get that faster, but I'd have to pay my artist more to get him to quit his big boy job.
So how big of a team do you have? You're obviously the writer, then you have an artist. How many people are involved?
Man, you're looking at it. I I'm out there hustling. I'm out there knocking on doors, getting my book into shops. I mean, I got an artist, and then I got a guy named Jimmy G, he does the lettering and coloring on the books, and then that's it. So,
as long as he's not the one from the 49ers, because that boy's trash.
Yeah. No, this guy's over in Poland. They don't even know what football is over there. They're playing rugby or some shit. Or
Man, rugby is so I used to live over on the west side. There used to be a school on 59th Avenue in Thunderbird, and they had not a pro, but a college level D1 rugby team. But nobody watches rugby, so we could go over there and watch the games for free. And at the time, I was playing football, and thinking of football as the most badass tough guy sport ever. Nope, it's not. It isn't.
Yeah,
rugby is crazy.
Yeah, rugby's hard. I think women's soccer might be like the most crazy one though. Those girls like run around kicking each other in the cunt, and then they got to keep playing. It's fucking wild.
Yeah, definitely. That would not be yeah. I don't know what it feels like for the ladies, but I know for us fellas, that's it. Take me out, coach.
I'm done. I'm good.
Give me some ice and some Gatorade. It's a wrap.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm the only. I get shit from my cousins though. I think I'm like the only Mexican that doesn't give a shit about soccer. So.
Okay, my man, you bring up a good point. I love this. So you're from LA and you're Hispanic, and now you live in Texas.
Yeah.
Do you like Tex-Mex? Don't lie to us.
No. Here's what I'm gonna say. It's good. It's not what I want, but it's not even what I don't. I don't want to say that. You can get good Tex-Mex. It's still good food, but it's different. It's just not the same, right? It's like New York pizza compared to Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Like it's still pizza. It's still good.
Better.
What's that?
Chicago's better.
Chicago's better. All right, man. I don't know. I don't want a lasagna, but I want although I'm not big on New York. I think New York's
New York pizza, man. There's just no way you're not getting drippy. There's just no way to eat it.
That's it.
See, I don't know. I got spoiled. I grew up on my grandma's food, and she was straight out of Guadalajara, Mexico, and she made some real shit,
real Mexican food.
Yeah, and that's what I really like. That's what I make. But don't get me wrong, man. You go cheese up my enchiladas and shit like that, and throw some red sauce over that and put some. It's still gonna be good. I'm
from Northern California, and so Northern California, the vegetation is great. The everything has so much flavor, and obviously you have tons of Hispanic people from all over, the lower Central America, Mexico, cooking bomb ass food. LA has bomb ass Mexican food, and I love our Mexican food here in Phoenix. But whenever I'm in Texas, I am so freaking disappointed when I try to get Mexican food. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, there's just where in Texas do you go though?
So when I did some show, we toured with Paul Wall and Comedien for a minute back in like 2009, I think, and we did San Antonio, Dallas, and Houston. And even though it's 2009, I realized that Texas is like a very segregated, even if not intentionally, state, because Dallas was the whitest crowd I've ever performed in front of. Yep. San Antonio had the most amazing Latin culture and probably deepest Hispanic crowd I've ever had. And then I went to Houston, and it was all black.
Yep, it's 100%.
And the food was so different. In each spot, the food was so remarkably different.
So here's the thing I will say about this. Like San Antonio is a huge Latino culture, and like we get good food because there's most of this city's getting deported as soon as Trump has his way. Man, if you want to build the wall, build it right through around San Antonio, and you're not taking any Americans. I promise you. Odds are you fucking, that's all right.
Yeah, bro. That's why you have good food there, though.
Right. That's why we got good food. You go to like Dallas, trash. Austin, overrated as fuck. Houston, yeah, same thing. It's like Houston, you're gonna get like more. You want some soul food or something because they got that. They got the black culture, but also they're right next to Louisiana. So
Cajun food in the soul food and the barbecue is smacking in Houston.
On point. But yeah,
Dallas, I'd say they have some of the best steak I've ever had when I was in Dallas. I forget the name of the steakhouse they took us to. We weren't paying for it, so we got nice steaks.
Yeah.
Probably some of the best steak I've ever had in my life. You can definitely tell when the cattle is raised and grown right in the same area from where you're eating it at.
Oh yeah. Like you get
San Antonio. I feel like we didn't get a good San Antonio experience because everywhere that we ate in San Antonio was off the Riverwalk So it was like all the trendy stuff. And I know that when you visit a city, you want to eat off of the trendy spots to find the real food.
Yeah, it's all touristy. Dude, there's a fucking, you know, there's a Margaritaville and a Hard Rock Cafe on the fucking Riverwalk. You don't want to eat that shit. You know, you want to go like the problem is there's so much Hispanic food in San Antonio. Like I mean, I live a block off this or 2 blocks off this main road. I can go up that road and go a mile in either direction, and I shit you not, I'll hit 40 Mexican restaurants, I bet.
Hey, 40. That's Arizona too. I promise you, within a 1 mile radius, I got every kind of burritos and literally a taco, burrito, carne asada. I could walk any direction and be there in 5 minutes and have one.
You got to fill. Here's what I do. So I'll give you guys, I'll lay it down for you. I'm going to give you guys the lowdown on how you find a good Mexican spot. All right. If you want to know the good Mexican spots, there's 2 ways to do it. You get up early and find the one that has all the fucking gardening trucks in the drive-thru in the morning. Okay. If those motherfucking beaners are out there getting their fucking burritos for breakfast before they go out gardening for the day, that's a good spot. Okay. The second way is if they have the word Del Mar or Mariscos in the name of
real good.
Of the restaurant, because that means ocean or seafood, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So if these motherfuckers are bold enough that they're going to tell you we fuck with seafood and we do it good, man, their land is going to be real good.
Right.
So if they can do surf, their turf fucks. So that's where it's at. You find
I'm
a
always
place.
looking for the taco truck that's cracking right when the bars get out, like everybody knows where it's at. Those to me are also the spot to look for.
Yeah. That's so
when it's a pop-up stand on the side of the road, but there's like 40 people waiting, you're like, yeah, you know that burrito is cracking.
Yeah, there's this taco spot I used to go to in downtown LA. It was, I mean, literally like in the worst area. And it was right off the exit of this entrance to get on the 101 freeway. And you had to go through some shady fucking crackhead neighborhood. But they would set up on it was literally just a tent and a grill, right? And they would set up on the corner. But every time I go to shows downtown LA, I would always stop. I'm like, I'm literally putting my life on the line for these tacos. They're so fucking good. Like,
the best food is in the hood.
Oh, 100%. Always. You know?
So I'm not gonna lie, bro. The best tacos here. There's on 7th Avenue in Indian School. There's a big gay bar called Charlie's.
Oh yeah.
That everybody would line. They park a taco truck up in the back of this place and open a window inside of Charlie's.
That's the only taco that's in that place. People
would literally be at all the bars within like a 5 mile radius talking about we got to go get some of them gay tacos from Charlie's before they close because them tacos were busting. But I'm telling you, hey, you know when you're drunk, carne asada hits the spot. That's what it was made for.
Yeah,
and menudo in the morning.
Yeah, gay tacos, man. It's like an oxymoron, you know. People.
You ever come out here, bro? You gotta have some gay tacos at Charlie's. I'm telling you, they are busting.
Wow, pause.
No diddy. I was watching him shake his head on the side of my eye. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna I'll definitely talk to Mike and see if I can plug you up. And if you come out here, we'll have to, I don't know if you drink or smoke or what you do, but we'll have to get together.
Yeah, man. Mike, hold on. Mike Dapper.
Mike B. Dapper.
We're friends on Facebook. I'm connected with him.
Okay. Good dude. Real good friend of mine.
But yeah, I'm trying to think if we've ever talked, if I've talked to him before or not, or yeah. Okay. I don't know.
The first time I ever saw Mike, he was actually at like a local comedy thing. He was the host of it, but he also performed. And he was talking about dating, you know, being an older guy and dating these younger girls. He's like, these younger chicks like to get freaky. He's like, so I'm out on this date and this girl tells me she wants to lick me somewhere I've never been licked before. He goes, and so in my mind, I was like, I want to be adventurous and try something new. But in my head, I'm like, how do I do this in a masculine way? He's like, the only thing I can picture is like my feet up like I'm getting my diaper changed.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, or B, I'm like bent over, spread them like I'm in prison getting searched. He's like, and none of that sounds manly to me. He's like, so I couldn't do it. So he goes, well, I'm not gonna lie, fellas, it was actually pretty amazing.
Yeah. You gotta try new things, right? Yeah.
Oh man, he's hilarious. But he's funny as hell. And actually, I meant to tell you earlier when we were talking about comics. Have you ever seen Robert Schimmel?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Rest in peace. That's my favorite comic of all time.
Okay. Yeah, Schimmel's great. Schimmel's
Robert
great.
Schimmel had a book out when he was out here at the Mayo Clinic. I used to work at the Mayo Clinic, and he would come out there and he was promoting a book that he was writing. And so I didn't even know he was a comic. I didn't even know who he was. I just knew that, like, in the room, when there's like 40 people waiting for chemo, I was just a medical assistant. But he would always have all these people in like the worst position in life, stage 4, leukemia, this, that, and the third. But he would have them all in there laughing, waiting to get their treatment. People who I had watched forever that are just miserable, that don't even talk, just miserable people. And so all the time I'll be like, this dude is hilarious. This dude is hilarious. And then one day he had to do the Merkin thing, which is like a wig that you can get for your man parts. So he's sitting there telling all the guests into that. And so I stopped and listened, started talking to him. He told me he was a comic. Well, he ended up beating his Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is what he had. And he came back out here on tour, and I bought his book, got his autograph. But when I went to his show, bro, it was the first time I ever went to a comedy show where I was laughing so hard I was wishing he would just shut the fuck up for a minute. Because I had a cramp in like both sides. I'm like, bro, you're fucking, just please.
That's the laughs per minute. That's the laughs per minute. He's cranking.
Yeah, man, his LPMs are through the roof, bro.
Yeah. That's
pull you aside, like, look, buddy, your LPMs are slacking right now.
Yeah.
Let me get that up. What other metrics do you guys have?
How much cocaine we can do in a night.
It makes it hard to tell the jokes fast though when you get that cotton out.
No. Even when I used to fucking do drugs and get fucked up on tour, I never did any drugs or drank before I performed, because like I knew I wasn't better. Like I might bring like a beer up with me and like sip a light beer throughout an hour or something just to have something to drink on. But like to get drunk and do it, I was not that comedian. I could not do it. And now afterwards, fucking, blow some rails.
I had the same rule. I would never, even at a local show, I'd never would drink or smoke or do anything before performing. But as soon as I was off stage, I was out back with a shot and a blunt and trying, here it's hot as fuck. So you're trying to find a fan. So anything to cool off, because stage lights. I'm 6'4", so I'm sure you're on stages where the lights are not very much higher than that. So I'm getting microwave the whole time I'm performing, and I'll run out back, trying to cool off, take a shot, smoking, trying to avoid the people who want to talk to me for a minute because I'm breathing like I just came back to life as a werewolf to human form.
Good, yeah. As soon as I was off stage, it was game on. But yeah, on stage, no, I was straight in.
Is there anything you'd like to promote before we get off the air today?
Guys, go to deececomedy.com. Check out everything going on. We got I do a weekly podcast called The Social Hour. New episodes every Wednesday, and then every other Tuesday we go live on the Madness Network. You can find a video version of the show too. We could do all kinds of different guests, man. I've talked to comedians, comic book creators, fucking presidential candidates, all kinds of shit, dude. It gets weird. And the special, Not Your Cup of Tea, available on the website also. Again, it's all donation only, so you can pay whatever you want. And it's a PayPal link, and put in whatever you want to pay. Leave your email. We'll send you the full 1 hour special. And then the comic book Kill Stan is available now. You can order number 1 and number 2 on our shop on inferno.earth. That's the website, inferno.earth. There's no .com. It's just inferno.earth is the domain. Follow me on inferno.earth on Instagram, deece.comedy on Instagram, and that'll get you everywhere to all the links of what we're doing too. But if you like, the comic book is like, just real quick on the book, it is not your typical comic book. So if you're looking for, it's not like a superhero vigilante punch 'em up. It's the basis is about a guy who wants to end his own life, so he decides to do it through vigilantism, right?
Okay.
So really, it's very much like a character piece about his personal journey of loss and trauma and the crazy things we do when we feel like we have nothing left to live for. So it's not like Cape superhero shit. It's very much like this dark journey into this guy's personal journey of wanting to kill himself.
So where they kill himself, he just go crazy by being a vigilante and don't care about his life.
Yeah, he's like, I want to kill myself. He can't really get
so instead of going the coward way out, he went out like, I'm going. That's pretty cool though.
Yeah, so he's like, he can't bring himself to do it himself, so he's like, I'll just go out and someone else will kill me, like instantly, because I have no training, I have no idea what I'm doing. he ends up living a little longer than he thought he would. But then there's like this conflict of people start to look at him as like this hero, but he was being selfish. So which makes him feel even worse about it. And like, there's this whole internal struggle. So it's very much kind of a dark journey into one guy's personal psychosis and wanting to end his own life.
Bro,
Sounds awesome.
Bro, that sounds fucking dope, actually, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That really sounds good.
Thank you. It's I love it. It's one of my favorite things I've ever written. I'm really proud of it.
Are you planning on making that to like a cartoon or like a show or something like that?
I would love to. I've talked to some animators about doing some short film animation on it. I'm going to wait until the whole thing's done. It's a 10-issue series. So once the whole story's out there, I'd love to see it in some sort of animation like,
Well, yeah, but I don't watch that shit. That sounds dope.
yeah, I don't know if do you remember the old HBO Spawn cartoon?
What?
Oh yeah,
I remember the regular. I remember the real movie Spawn with Michael J. Come on.
Oh
man.
yeah. So that was dope. But they did this Spawn cartoon that was like this dark adult cartoon.
Yeah, it was real dope.
Yeah, and that was in like the late 90s, right? Before they were doing that all the time. I'd love to do something like that with the comic book,
You can
even
do
more
it,
than
but that
live
sounds
action.
great.
So
well, best of luck on all those projects. I hope that everybody go check out Deece Comics. My man, we appreciate you coming out. This was a great conversation.
Thanks a lot, man.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Pops, I know you got some sponsors that we got to say hello to and shout out. Comic Madness Network, folks, we love you. Madness Entertainment Group. It's been amazing. We can't wait to look forward to the bigger, better adventures. And hopefully we can come back and retouch up on some of these issues and see the success of some of those things that you're doing, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime, man.
That's awesome. Thank you. Have a good one, you guys. Ivory out.
All right, later, guys.
Beyond the world we know is a place where reality bends and time stands still. A place where legends, fairy tales, and nightmares are real. A world where legends are born and destinies collide. Alice has spent her life lost in an interdimensional rift known as Wonderland, and it forged her into a deadly bounty hunter. With her ancient clockwork guardian Big Ten by her side, they hunt the things that stalk the shadows of Wonderland. Alice Lost in Wonderland, issues 1 and 2 launch May 6 on Kickstarter. Follow along at GoMrFish.com.
Growing up was intense, my mom couldn't pay rent. We literally lived in tents, so my story I'd invent. Lying was not my intent, I just wanted to make friends. Acting a fool to be cool at every new school, cause I was embarrassed to the truth. Cause drugs not the only thing that my parents would abuse. Had to keep the bruises from being viewed, so I was careless as a youth, stealing clothes and food. Had a broken home, so I broke some rules. I choked some fools, had a drink and a smoke or two. Didn't bang, but I ran with the local crew. My gang, I trust the chosen few. My rat pack with straps in our backpack, selling fat sacks.
But every day I didn't have a dollar. I would be a rich man, or I would win the lotto and take care of my mother and my father. If I had a wish, man, but life gets funny, it keeps me down. Got no money in my bank account. Oh, if I had a dollar, but every day I didn't have a dollar. I
show you crave right here live. Heroes and villains clash in the night. Madness Comic Network sets it right. Scroll through the list, find what you need. Epic battles and fast-paced speed. From capes to cosmic space delight. Tune in and watch your favorites ignite. On Facebook, share the thrill so grand. On X, the buzz across the land. Madness Comic Network all around. In every episode, joy is found. Uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends catch every twist and every turn. Madness Comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness Comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness Comic sets the groove. Click that button and subscribe. Catch the wave and ride the tide. Join the fun, join the craze. Madness Comic brightens days. Hey! New uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends catch every twist and every turn. Madness Comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness Comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness Comic sets the groove. Click that button and subscribe. Catch the wave and ride the tide. Join the fun, join